I'm back. So, first of all, a warm welcome to those joining the 8 p.m. Periscope. It's back for tonight and tomorrow night only this week. So if you want to hear me, this is the place to be. And hi there, Siri13, Arnhem Avenger et al. And what a busy, action-packed night we're going to have. So much to talk about. Not least the fact that Trump has carried out his word on Iran. Hi, Shrimpy. Yep, so much. So we're going to talk about that. Going to talk about the Day for Freedom. That was the event that happened in London on Sunday afternoon, and which was spectacularly ignored by the mainstream media. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk, hi again, we're going to talk about the local council results. Thanks, Shrimpy, for the super heart. Local council results and what that means in the context of, for example, the customs partnership that Theresa and the gang want to impose on us. And then finally, just for extra lols, we're going to talk about non-binary birth certificates. Yes, really, you don't have to be male, you don't have to be female. Oh, we're going to talk about all of this. So, hiya Spike, and good evening to all of those joining. Quick run through the usual routine. Number one, digital workout time. Hit those hearts. Send as many hearts as possible, please. If you like Shrimpy and you're able to send me a super heart, that's cool. And then, and this is really important, watch out for trolls as well. And of course, the biggest troll of all is Periscope, aka Twitter, because they hate me and they love to suppress these Periscopes. No sooner do they start than the numbers collapse. Gotta love you, Periscope, you bunch of self-censoring so-and-sos. Someone says, not good news about Upper Ban MP. Should DUP take action? Oh, this is a local story concerning my local MP. My local MP who has been got himself into all kinds of personal issues in his marriage, which seems to conflict somewhat with his publicly stated Christian views. I'm not getting into that one. In fact, no, what I'm going to get into first of all is going to get into the fact that in the past hour thereabouts, it's none of our business. That's how I feel about all these matters. But I don't think people should be. I don't want to get into it. In the past hour, Donald Trump has stated that the Iran deal is dead in the water. Yes, and you recall that Boris flew over there. Oh yeah, Boris flew over to persuade. Boris Johnson, UK Foreign Secretary, was going to persuade Trump not to do it. For goodness sake, don't impose sanctions on Iran. Don't undo the work that Obama had done. Tough, Boris. That's exactly what Trump has just done. I think Trump's a hero. Someone says, where's my Trump hat? It's in this house. I have my MAGA. I should put it on me for one of these Periscopes, actually. But anyway, I mean, the main point about this, which of course the bleeding media won't understand, is that Trump is doing what he told people he was going to do. How radical! My God, can you imagine that? A politician who actually fulfills his obligations to his voters. Gosh, that's a really radical idea. Could you imagine if any of our politicians did that? Wouldn't it be mad? Just mad. Anyway, just watch the butt hurt on this one. It's going to be extreme in the next 24 hours as the BBC, they're already whining about it. Yes, apparently this goes in the face of advice from his European allies. Good. President Trump is elected to do what's right by the American people, not what keeps the European allies happy. Don't they get it? Don't they understand that this is why Trump is successful? This is why, in my opinion, Trump, if he stands in 2020, will be re-elected for another 4 years. He's actually doing that which he said. But anyway, I wanted to cover that. It's not one of the main topics, but I did want to cover that. I'm sure, hopefully you agree that I must put a poll up on my Twitter feed just to see what the feelings on it are. But for me, I think it's excellent news. Not good, an excellent news, may I say, for many decent Iranian people. Oh, not the mad mullahs, the theocrats that won't allow women, for example, to take off the veil of Islam. Oh, not good news for them, and not good news for all those other corporate shills that, like Boris, who wanted to keep Obama's rotten, toxic deal in place. Let's put it like this: Trump has been put in place to roll back the Obama years, and he's doing a hell of a good job on it. Somebody's saying, I agree with you, he's a real leader, and that's something that we don't see very much of here in the UK. Okay, folks, need to crack on with this one. Not sure if my official timekeeper is here, but I've got another 25 minutes to rattle through these. Keep hitting the hearts button, keep sending the super hearts if you can, and watch out for the trolls. Remember, trolls love me. Well, they love to hate me, more specifically. Sunday saw the Day for Freedom take place in London. The speeches, the whole thing was set up in Whitehall. Now, I'm sure, I think some of you were at, I think I've seen some of you were actually present at the, yes, I'm seeing, yes, some of you were present. Yeah, that's great. So this is great. I've got people on the Periscope who actually were there. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. For me, this was a really important occasion. It showed, it was a real cross-section of people. You know, those speaking included prominent members of the LGBT community, including a drag queen and Milo. It included an ex-Muslim and my esteemed colleague, Shazir Hobbs. It included the likes of, yes, Tommy Robinson. It included Jared Batten from UKIP, Anne-Marie Waters. It included a wide range of different and diverse views. With one, for example, Carl Benjamin, he who is known as Sargon of Akkad, a really great guy. Ben was at it, giving an excellent speech. It was, Shrimpy was, yes, I see you were there, yeah. There was no racism. I think Shazir was brilliant. I was so proud of her, and I'll be meeting with her later this week. The reason there's two reasons I wasn't there. One, I wasn't asked to speak. And two, I'm in London later this week on associated matters, let's say. So, anyway, so there was at least, I think there was a minimum of 4,000, and some people have put it up to 10,000 people gathered along the Whitehall. And so it was a big crowd. And the BBC wasn't aware of it, apparently. Couldn't find it. Thousands of people gather yards from the steps of Downing Street, and the BBC can't find them. No coverage. LBC, sorry, Ian Dale. Ian Dale couldn't have anything, couldn't talk about it because, as he pointed out yesterday, it was Sunday's news, nothing to do with LBC story. If all the media were there, they sure as hell didn't report on it, is what I would say. No surprise, but this is the thing. This was about people having the freedom to speak, and of course, Tommy Robinson has been one of those most egregiously hurt by Twitter, who have permanently suspended his account. Shazir Hobbs has had her account suspended by Twitter. Are you getting the theme here, folks? These are people like Milo, who was banned by Twitter as well. And somebody saying, yes, hundreds of tweets to the BBC. No joy. The BBC don't want to know about free speech. They don't want to know about freedom. What they and the rest of the left are about is censorship. They want to shut us up. And when I talk about us, I'm talking about a plurality of opinion. Those of you folks that were there on the day saw there was a diverseness. I mean, there was football supporters there. There were classical liberals there. There were all kinds of opinion were there who believe in free speech. Now, the thing about it is that in 2018, though, The Guardian managed to report on it, and again, if you watch Sargon Sargon of Akkad's most recent YouTube video, which I think he put up yesterday. It's really worth a watch. He talks about it, and he talks about the Guardian journalist who I met. I believe he was speaking to. Now, the Guardian coverage of it was sort of half accurate in a way. People in wheelchairs, David, no far right. Yeah, there was. I know there was it looked like a carnival, not a protest. Such is the good atmosphere and the good humour of those in the crowd and the speakers and the whole event. It was really, really well done, in my view. And I believe that Alt News Media, who of course were there not just in terms of Shazia Hobbs, but we were there, we had other representatives there. I believe there was videos being done, so no doubt you'll see all of that. And if you go to Alt News Media, you can read my article about the day that 4,000 people vanished in the middle of London, right in front of the noses of the media. It's quite a popular article. Visit on Alt News, www.altnewsmedia.net. Point is, anyway, the speeches were all great. And the one thing that they were all speaking up for was the right to be able to freely say what you think without being shut down for it. Now, that includes the right for people to say things that we don't agree with, of course. That's what all part of what it was about. Oh, hey, well done, Periscope, by the way. Thanks for keeping my numbers down. Really appreciate it, guys. Oh, you must be some little social justice warrior who sits on top of this whenever I go live and suppresses everything. Yeah, there must be. Just like on my Twitter account, same thing. Oh, I know I'm a marked man. I can feel the crosshairs right across me. But, you'll find I don't go down so easily without a fight. That was the Day for Freedom. Ignored by the media, enjoyed by thousands. I'm sure there'll be follow-ups to this one. We're not going away, folks. We're not going anywhere. And that's why I support Tommy. That's why I support all those who spoke on the day. Anne-Marie, Jared, Carl, Shazir, obviously, Milo, all the speakers. Lauren Southern, I saw she did an interview, beamed in. Of course, she couldn't be there because she's banned from the UK, unlike the hundreds of jihadi who the UK have allowed back in. Strange that, isn't it? The UK lets in jihadi, returning jihadi from Syria, but won't allow in far-right Lauren Southern, who's a young girl in her early 20s, as far as I know. Why is that? Oh, because she holds views that they don't like. And this is the whole point about it. Oh, Big Leg 100, my official timekeeper. Oh, right, I think I know who that is. Yeah. Thank you for turning up. Sometimes it's hard. The thing for me is when we do this, all I can see is your @ I can't see your full name, so it's a bit difficult. But anyway, yes, there's another Democratic Football Lads Alliance on the 2nd of June in Manchester at 1:30, I'm being told. So look, we need to speak up. I do it in my own way. I can do it here on Twitter. I can do it on Periscope. I can do it on Facebook. I can do it on Alt News Media. I can do it in lots of places. If I want to do it, if I'm invited to to one of these gatherings, then I'll certainly consider doing it. I've had plenty to say about free speech, about the importance of this country standing up for it, about not being suppressed and shut up by far left censors who don't have any arguments. Their only counter to us is to tell us to be quiet. And that's how it is in 2018. It is far right, if not Nazi, to support free speech for all, apparently, according to the mainstream media. That's how it seems to be. And the left have now become the guardians of out and out censorship, shutting people up. And that's why I view the left with contempt. Yeah, real contempt. Anyway, folks, moving on. That's enough on that one. Thanks for the kind comments about the day for freedom. I could have thought of a few lines to deliver. Let's put it like that. But those who did speak did superb. They don't need people like me being there. But, as I say, they know where I am if ever they want to contact me. Moving on. Last week saw the local council results. Now, I know that seems a long time. They say a day is a long time in politics. And in truth it is. And it's almost, I suppose, it'll soon be a week since those local council results. But I wanted to just talk about them for just one moment, because there were two things about them. First of all, they've kind of vanished off the big media radar, haven't they? And why do you think that might be? Jezza didn't do as well as they said, did he? Labour didn't make any significant inroads in the Conservative strongholds in London and indeed elsewhere, did they? And that had the BBC butthurt. Now, Owen Jones. Well, Owen Jones, there was so many good memes going on around the day after, because Owen went on his decapitation strategy, where just about every constituency that he visited in London to rally support to unseat the Conservative Council, they lost. Wasn't it fantastic? Nothing made me laugh as much as little Owen Jones and his absolutely pathetic attempts to unseat Conservative councils. So the things that I wanted to say were this. Owen Jones looked a complete prat. Labour didn't do well, and perhaps maybe we have hit peak Marxist. Maybe it's just possible that people have seen the anti-Semitic, vile, loathsome aspects of Corbyn and Labour, and maybe they don't like that. It's certainly no wonder that someone pointed out to me, Labour used to apparently get about 80% of the Jewish vote in the UK. I think that's down to 13%. Got that? 80%, 13%. But the reason that the Tories held up pretty well, it's not just about how awful Labour were. It's about the fact that huge numbers of UKIP voters went back to the Conservative Party. Oh, hello to those of you who are still joining. So those UKIP voters council voters who had entrusted the UKIP party previously went back to the Tories. That, when you look at the analysis of the numbers, that made a significant impact. So, look, I'm going to talk about, yes, exactly, I know how bad the Tories are, but it was UKIP voters making that decision, not me. UKIP voters returned to the Tories. Why is that? Because I think they want Theresa May to deliver a full Brexit. Now, I would also be remiss if I didn't say that I believe For Britain, Anne-Marie Waters' party did very well as well. All things considering, new party, first time out as well. So a shout out to them. I think it was a depressing night for UKIP, if I'm honest. And I know there's UKIP supporters follow me, and I have offered Jared Batten, if he'd like to do an interview, I'm here to do an interview with him. So if anyone knows Jared and wants to talk about the future for UKIP, I'm here and ready and waiting to talk about it. I'm sympathetic to Jared. I'm sympathetic in many regards to the ideals of UKIP. But, I think at the end of the day, the tide's gone out. And in my mind, UKIP is over. And honestly, look at those council results, it tells you that. But here's the thing. The thing is this, that UKIP voters went, happy to give a shout out to patriotic people like the For Britain movement. And yes, Gerard is a genuine guy. He definitely is. He used to retweet me a lot. And then he became UKIP leader and he doesn't retweet me so much. Where's the love, Jared? Where's the love? You seem like a good bloke. Why have you suddenly stopped retweeting me? Am I embarrassing? Really? Here's the thing. Those UKIP voters want Brexit. And they want Theresa May to deliver Brexit. And that's why all this crap about the customs partnership that May and her business secretary and that little coterie are still trying to push. That's why it's so obscene. Because what plainly the voters were saying, right, we want Brexit. Deliver us Brexit. And that's why they voted last week in the councils for the Conservative Party. They see that Labour aren't serious about Brexit in any way, which is remarkable given that so many Labour voters in the general election voted on the basis of Labour delivering Brexit. But they won't. Labour don't want to know about Brexit. They've got far more and more important issues to do. So John saying the Tories are weak and soft. I think you're right, John. I think the leadership is. I don't think that Jacob Rees-Mogg is weak and soft exactly. He's not as strong as I would like, but I think, yes, I agree that Jared probably did have a very hard job after Bolton. Henry Bolton as leader mystified me. But then I don't understand party politics sometimes, how it happens. But I do know this. If Theresa May thinks that she can somehow persuade us that, yes, we leave the customs union, but stay in a custom partnership, which even Boris Johnson yesterday defined as lunatic, or words to that effect. That shows you just what's going on. How can we have a Prime Minister who still seems to want to deliver us into a continued part of relationship with the EU when we've said no, we want out of the EU? How does this work? I just think it's insane. And what worries me most is that, and as Theresa May is the person that I blame. She's the leader. The buck stops with her. If she was sending out signals all the time that she was really passionate about Brexit, that would be reflected in her choice of ministers. Yet on Sunday morning, she sent on her business secretary, a guy whose name a guy so forgettable I cannot even remember his name. He went on to tout the notion that, we should look to, yes, we were leaving the customs union, but we needed to find ways to work with our European colleagues. Business needs Europe. Hey, listen, business, of course, the UK wants all the business it could get, but worth remembering, 93% of UK business does not do business with the EU. Yet 100% of UK business is subject to EU rules and regulation. That's part of the reason why we voted to get out Theresa May. Don't you understand that? Is that not obvious? Obviously it's not. And May doesn't want us out. And therefore I continue to harbour great concerns about Theresa May and just how genuine she is. I mean, at one level, I can feel sorry for her. I saw a bunch of students at, I think it was Oxford, got her portrait removed from a public position it had there. How pathetic are these snowflake students? The same little sad freaks who need to have a safe space in case reality intrudes in their lives and they can't cope. So they have to have teddy bears to cuddle and safe spaces to hide in so that they don't get hurty by reality. This is what student life is in 2018. Thank God it's decades since I was a student. What sort of pathetic little useless twerps have we got? 5 minutes left. I say that there, 5 minutes. A teddy bear hugs is right. That's where it is with students. Right, here's the last one, folks. Have you got yourself a non-binary birth certificate? And if not, why not? Apparently, if you go to Canada, you're going to get one. Quick synopsis here. Canada's largest province, Ontario, has issued its first non-binary birth certificate, marking the culmination of a successful human rights campaign against Ontario. Joshua Ferguson has waited a year after petitioning the provincial government for a new birth certificate in order to change the document from male to non-binary. As, get this, Ferguson identifies as neither male nor female. Instead, the filmmaker uses the pronoun they. So he says he isn't a he is a they, and that is now officially recognised in Ontario, in Canada. I actually was going to go and I went to actually engage with him on this, but sorry, should I say they? Should I call him a they? No. Should I went to discuss this with him, and yeah, he blocked me. Joshua Ferguson such a coward that he won't engage in the issue. He just wants to have his little hissy fit, his denial of actual biological reality, have the absolute cucks on the Ontario court system, provincial government, go along with him and indulge his madness. Listen, folks, here's the reality check. This is what gets you banned from social media. At the end of the day, he's welcome to identify as whatever the hell he wants. If he thinks he's a Dalek, if he thinks he's from Venus, if he thinks he is, a Klingon, it's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. But it's not fact. It's what he thinks, but it's not fact. So unfortunately for him, you're born a male or you're born a female. That's it. 2 genders. Now, yes, there is a small number, a tiny number of people who are born with biological issues around that. That's fine. We understand. That's okay. But gender is binary. And yet Canada says it's not binary. And that's why they're prepared to offer non-binary birth certificates. So, I mean, how's that one going to work? How, as you say, these trolls can't hack it, just like Antifa. If you want to argue back, they run away, they block you. But it's really strange. It's really strange. Woody, I mean, there may be hermaphrodite, small number of people born with the organs of both, the sex organs of both. I understand that. And I'm sympathetic to people like that. But you don't get to choose your gender. That's the point. It's not a choice. You are 99.999% male or female. And yet, in Ontario, under the gaze of Justin Trudeau, that's not how it is anymore. Hi, Mike. The fact is that reality is being turned on its head, and as we live at this point in the 2018, we're now being told that birth certificates can now be non-binary. Where does it lead, folks? You know, he, she, it, they. But also the curiosity in this one is that this individual who is a male, who is a male, but he identifies as not a male, which is fine, his choice. Joshua, I believe you have that choice. All right, I believe that. You have that choice to identify as that. Just as I can identify as a Dalek. But I don't think anybody watching this thinks I actually am a Dalek, even if I think I might be one. And the same applies to Joshua. Unfortunately, his idiosyncrasies, let's put it that way to be kind, are being indulged rather than confronted. They should be confronted. He probably needs help. People who go around identifying as a plurality, he identifies as they. That's what he says he is. He is they. Those people, in my opinion, probably would benefit from some kind of assistance, help. We used to give them help. Now, instead of that, we indulge them. Right then, folks, that's it. That's the 30 minutes up. My official timekeeper is telling me that the sands of time have come to an end for me for tonight. But anyway, yes, I get the time up. Listen, thanks very much for coming along. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks, Shrimpy, for the super heart. That's much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow night, so hope to see you then. Tomorrow night will be the last one of the week because I'm off in London for a couple of days. Gosh, what sort of body armour should I take with me to London? Oh, I'll tweet a few pictures up on Twitter. In the meantime, thanks for everything. Thanks for listening to me, and thank you for your time. Catch you tomorrow night, same time. Good night.